I don't know where I belong. I got no place to call my home. All the people all around me just can't see the things that I can see. I'll find a friend, someone who'll help me understand that life won't always be this bad, and there's no reason to be sad because I'm free.
2, 3, 4.
What the fuck? Just my bloody luck. I'm drowning in a sea of fools, tortured by their stupid rules. I don't mind, I'll leave all that behind. I'll quit my job and quit my school and do just what I wanna do. I'm free. Yes, I'm free. Everywhere, people point and stare. A happy freak, they think it sucks. I don't fit inside their box. No 9 to 5, I just live my life. Forever playing with my toys, not like other girls and boys. Girls and boys, not like other girls and boys. Girls and boys. 'Cause I'm free, yeah, I'm free. Exactly where I wanna be, yeah, I'm free. So please don't bother me. I wish I could find the words to let you know that it's okay. You don't belong inside the herd. Forever children, we will play. We will play. Forever children, we will play. We will play.
It looked like I was
Yeah.
picking my nose, but I was actually itching it. No.
Uh-huh.
Hello, everybody. I'll pick my nose on this show. I won't care.
There you go.
Dare
Pick
me.
your nose like you just don't care.
And I'd wipe it on the camera lens.
Mm,
One good steady swipe right on the camera lens.
nice.
And that's Everyday Magic. Welcome to the show, everybody. One big snot ball on the camera lens is what you're viewing right now. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Luna?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Mary Beth? Hola. Hello, Heather. Good evening to you, our other co-host. How are we doing tonight? Good to see you. Joe's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching here, but it's cool as fuck.
Aw,
I like that compliment, to be fair.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it is I'm watching here, but it's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
She is a spectator this evening. Yes, you are
Yes.
tonight. You'll be back next week and we'll continue our discussion about our shadow magic. She wanted to be part of the love conversation. So she was supposed to be moving actually to this weekend, and she's running a day late, so it was a little late to change plans. But I'm glad she's here watching and hanging out with us, though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a good day?
Yeah, it was perfect. It was relaxing and all that fun stuff. So, yeah.
It was
How was
relaxing. Didn't do nothing important today.
I took care of myself. That was important.
That's important. Yeah, I'll go with that. I
Yeah.
spent 2 hours on the radio. I did that today.
Oh, yeah. I was there. I was listening.
I went to the grocery store, took my sister to the grocery store, and as I was coming out my SUV, I was walking towards the store, and some black guy starts going, hey,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, what? What? I looked over at him, and he goes, has anyone ever told you you look like Tony Stark, Iron Man? I'm like, yeah, you asshole. But
It's
yeah,
a great compliment,
I
though.
mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I see it a little bit. Maybe it's the hair and the thin beard trim. I
The
guess, but I don't know.
glasses and the beard. Yeah,
I get it. I get it. I guess I'm Tony Stark for a day. Yeah, I thought
there
that
you
was
are.
cool. I was walking around like I was Hollywood grocery shopping.
Strutting.
That's right. Doing a little
That's
fucking Tobey
awesome.
Maguire and Spider-Man 3 and everybody. I just got called Tony Stark. Suck it. So we're kind of trying to have a little bit of fun with this tonight, and we're doing a little bit of a Q&A. I've done these once or twice before, but hey, why not? Why not do one again? There's a lot of people, and I'm white. I'm pasty white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
shine bright.
I got a light
Yeah.
that's like those rings.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me look white. But yeah,
Vampire.
you're right, Joe. You got me. I'm white. All occasion as it gets. So yeah, we decided tonight to try something different. We'll do like a Q&A. And we chatted before the show, and I asked you, I said, Luna, my friend, my sister, how many questions you got for us? She says, 4. 4?
Rat me out.
How long are we doing a show again? And it's an hour, right? So we had to rush. So actually, we had to rush to get you 12 more questions, didn't we?
Yes, but I think we'll be fine.
Joe says here, no, I get told to look like every dark-haired white celebrity, bro. That was funny though. I've been told I look like Kevin Smith from fucking like Jay and Silent Bob even.
I can kind of see that.
It's the eyebrows up.
It must be.
But anyway, so we got some questions. We're gonna do Q&A tonight.
Okay.
Get to know me a little bit. Get to know what's going on around in my universe.
Mhm.
And if you guys got any questions out here that's watching, feel free to ask away. We'll get to them as well. But Luna is actually the host tonight, and I'm actually in the hot seat. So I'm a tad bit, a little bit nervous with these questions. A white cheech. Yes, Mary Beth, that's right. That's exactly right. I like where she's thinking because there's a lot of pot smoking going on in that right there. I got told you've been making these. Oh, before we even start the questions, you took it upon yourself to start doing these like tribute videos every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really funny. Speaking of when Mary Beth said white cheeks, just made me think of it. You had Puzzle Tree on a video, right? And one of the things that they said to me was one of the I'd say were like deleted clips. One of them says, "Stop, try not to smoke for one day. It might do you some good." And I'm thinking, you don't know me very well,
Right?
Imagine me not being stoned the whole day.
Oh, that would be awful, honestly.
A total diva is what I would be.
Yeah. You'd be a huge handful.
Angry at everything. I ain't got no. Just shut up. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I would leave chat real fast.
Yeah, I'm not that bad.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit. Anyway, sorry. Then we got naked. We got naked Dan. He's made it here. How are you doing, Dan? By the way,
Hi,
welcome
Dan.
to the show, Joe. It's good to see you as well. Mary Beth, thank you for hanging out with us tonight as well. So let's have some fun.
Okay.
I don't know if it's necessarily fun, but let's.
Oh, no, it's gonna be great.
I feel a bit nervous about it, to be fair, but okay. Let's give it a shot.
You nervous? Yeah. Okay.
Hit me with some of these questions.
All right. So everybody, I'm sure, wants to know what is the whole purpose of Inner Demon Media. Why do you do this?
I'm bored.
Bored.
I need something to do.
Yeah.
So I'm bored, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do some podcasting and radio stuff, but I need something really cool. I need a really cool name that's catchy, that catches. What do you want from me? Would you don't expect an intelligent conversation. Just saying. So
There's
I
gotta
created.
be more to it than that.
Well, to be fair, I created Inner Demon Media at first as a revenge. To be fair, it was a revenge creation. I was part of something prior, and it got stripped from me. As a matter of fact, everything got stripped from me. So I took a brief break, about 4 or 5 month break, and then I decided I was going to come back. But I came back. I came back angry and with a purpose. And so at first it was kind of like revenge. I'm going to show you people that I can do this, and I don't. You're not going to stop me, or you're not going to stop me, and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you, and I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do my thing, but I had a purpose. I was very driven. So it was at first it was revenge, but it was turning into something else because when I created it, I was also going through a process of myself of working through things that just recently happened in my life. So it took me a solid year to even decide that I even wanted to have it a team.
Mm.
It was just me and Bob for a little bit. And then Ina came along, Jace came along, and then a few people has come along and left here and there. But yeah, the Inner Demon actually took a meaning of its own after a while. And when I really started getting serious about it, because at first it was just me doing everything on my own.
Mm.
So I was serious about it, but it was more me that's trying to prove a point, that I'm trying to prove everybody wrong. And then as I started growing, I was like, this could be. So Inner Demon wasn't even a thought at the time, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna turn this into a brand. I was just a show. Into the Fire was all I was doing. It was just a show, but I was like, I want to turn this into a brand. I need a catchy name. It's got to be cool. But there's going to be a hidden message in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted everything to kind of have a flow to it. And one of my passions is like, as well as a lot of people here know, as well as being comfortable with your dark side, those demons that you have. We know there's a lot of people out there who struggle with certain things. We won't get into details, but I thought, how can I take that and turn it into something cool? In my mind, at least, I'm thinking it's cool. How can I take something like that and turn it into something where it might affect other people outside of just the spiritual pagan community? So I pondered on names for a while, and I was like, you know what? I popped out Inner Demon. At first, it was Inner Demon Records, I believe, and then it even evolved then I just evolved into Inner Demon Media. But once I thought Inner Demon, we all have them. We all have all these inner demons. We have them.
Mm-hmm.
We just shall not hide them, and then that's where it kind of grew from there.
What is your favorite?
Much?
No, you're doing great.
Okay.
What is your favorite moment of Inner Demon Media?
My favorite moments. Hello, dear. How are you doing? Good to see you. My favorite moment. God, there's so many. I think one of my favorite moments is when after a show, and I get a message in my inbox from either the guest that I just had on, or somebody that maybe overheard or seen a show, and we was on a hot topic, and it helped them through that. I think them are the two most coolest moments for me, is knowing that my message or what I'm trying to do touch somebody else, and they're sharing their story with me. Just like with my when I lost my dad and my son, I got like just tons and tons of messages from people reaching out, sharing their stories of their loss. And so it almost didn't give me enough time to even grieve for what I was doing, because I was grieving for what they were telling me at the same time too. But it was cool and humbling. And so it's moments like those, I think, that I cherish the most doing Inner Demon Media in these shows.
What is your best all-time band interview?
Shit. I got several, to be fair. I mean, I've had some really fun shows. My buddy Bob, you know Bob, but most people out here probably know Bob too. We've done Talking with Demons together, and so we've been partners for about a year and a half. And I think some of my funnest moments has been with Bob and some of these oddball band interviews. I can name a few of. Does it have to be one?
No.
Okay, so like one of them was we had a band on Single by Sunday, and Bob just randomly popped up the question, "Do you know what the world record is of someone busting eggs over your crotch?" And the lead singer goes, "No, we don't know what the world record is." It's because would you guys like to try to break it? And they go, "Yeah, sure." So they went and grabbed a carton of eggs, and they had to try to beat the world record in 60 seconds or less. Eggs being smashed over their crotch, and so that was fun to watch this guy trying to smash one egg over his crotch like 5 times. That was fun. That was a fun moment. You had
I
right?
just want to do that.
This was on a live show. This was live. This was just like a random moment. The guy got up, started trying to smash this egg over his crotch, and it wasn't breaking. It wasn't breaking, so he had to go get a kitchen utensil, put it in his crotch, and then he took that and smashed it over. But he was like buckling over. He was screaming like a little girl. He was I almost thought he was going to cry for a moment there, just trying to bust one egg. That's the kind of shit that you don't want to miss. You know what I mean? That's good TV.
Yeah, that is.
Or for example, another fun show we did. You actually had him do a tribute video, Simon from Kinstrife.
Mm-hmm.
We had him on a show. We've had him on several different shows. Simon, he is an absolute character. I love the guy. But the few of these shows that leaves you going, what the fuck is going on with this? What's going on here? So like one show,
Some sheep are trying to get you.
hang on. I got a kid trying to break in. So there was one show where Simon was on here, and he was during the music breaks, he was changing out clothes, but he was putting on his wife's clothes. So he was coming out in a bathing suit, Daisy Dukes. I mean, he was just coming out every time in between a song. He was coming out with the new clothes. And then there was another time where Bob was doing his Bob Bones quiz. This is on Talking and Demons. And one of the questions was, what's the heaviest weight of a testicle of an animal? It was a white whale, right? It was a white whale a giant sperm whale maybe or something like that, had like it's like 3-ton testicle. But Simon decided he was going to on the show decided he was going to grab some scales and weigh his testicles on the show live. It's things like that, those random moments that's when I have the most fun out of these shows. We've had a guy make out with a teddy bear on a show. He danced to the song from Dirty Dancing, and then he made out on the bed with the teddy bear. We've had that happen. That was fun.
It sounds interesting.
You guys can watch them.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to go back and watch them now.
We've had Sid. Mary Beth says Sid asked a guy to dance. The guy's phone slipped and he was gone. Oh yeah, he says like I'm not dancing. I've interviewed people still like taking a bath. They're like still in the bathtub.
Wow.
Scrubbing their body as I'm having an interview.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, there's moments like that. It's like that's why I like doing what I do because there's so much fun and getting to see the other side of these bands is another thing too. You know, when these people are listening to these bands, they see the cover art, they're listening to the music, they're only like reading reviews or they're reading articles but they're not seeing the other side of them. And that's the human side of them, right? They're not seeing the laid back, chilled, I'm not guarded. All I'm doing is smiling and having a good time side. That's what I try to bring out in these shows as well. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's why they've had so much success with that shows, with these bands wanting to be on the shows because they're actually getting to see they're getting band content that we're still interviewing them, but it goes off the rail a bit, and these bands just have fun with it.
Yeah, they usually love it.
Yeah,
I know that when an interview first starts, when I'm watching, I know that the band is kind of tense a little bit. They don't know what to expect, but then everyone kind of just chills out after a while and gets relaxed and
It's me.
starts
It's
being
either me
themselves.
hitting on them. I'm either hitting on them.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you looking really, that smile's looking very dashing, and then all of a sudden it makes them uncomfortable. And then from that point on, it's like I always pop that video of that Veet, the secret words Veet, right, for one of the shows. And whenever they say that dancing guy comes around with the dingling flying around, right? That makes them uncomfortable, but I do it because it breaks the ice. I mean, there's not much more you can do to somebody that put their junk in their face like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably wonder what I'm talking about too.
Well, where do you see Inner Demon Media in 5 to 10 years?
I'll be perfectly happily doing the same thing that I'm doing right now, to be fair. But I would like it to, anything that you take on project wise, you want it to succeed. So you want to see it go big, just like anybody else. A band or a podcast, you want that show to be, you want it to go global, you want it to see it go big. And I've always had this dream of Inner Demon Media, but it was Heathen TV at the time. I always wanted to be like on public access television, right next to the Christian networks.
Yeah,
that's where I always wanted to see myself. And end of the day, I want to be a complete entertainment site for all people, all religions, all beliefs. Doesn't matter what walk of life you are. My end goal is to try to bring two worlds together anyway. So one day I like to see myself on public access TV next there to TBN and those other Christian broadcast networks.
Well, why is it important for you to mix the mainstream with paganism?
Is there much difference? Think about it this way. Music, a lot of people don't acknowledge it or don't think about it until later on, but music is a great magical tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's there for you for basically any occasion that there is in life, any situation that goes on in life, music's there for you. If you can find a way to find spirituality and bring in music and spirituality together while still bringing in mainstream people, it bridges a gap of misunderstanding of what being a pagan or a witch actually is. Because listening to your favorite band, it's almost like it's like a deity, right? Think of it like this. If you're an Iron Maiden fan, you're looking up at Iron Maiden, you treat them like they're gods, right? They're some sort of deity. It's a ritual thing for you. When an album comes out, you're going to go out and buy it. There's probably a ritual of unwrapping the album, let's say, and smelling the new fresh cardboard, cracking. But in the end of the day, it's sort of like witchcraft, right? We have our rituals, we do our things that we do. So it's just finding some common ground to bring those two worlds together. And I try to do that with Inner Demon Media. Let everybody know that we're all, in essence, magic. It's just trying to find that common ground and getting rid of the stigma of the titles and just say we're all magical fucking beings. And if you don't like it, you know where you go.
Yeah. So next question. What were you experimenting with when you first started dabbling in magic?
Ooh, you know what? Save that question.
Okay.
Because this could be a little bit of a long one. So let's save that question. Let's play a music video. Take a brief music break, and then we'll come back and we'll answer that question right there. All right, guys, you're watching Everyday Magic. Luna is the host. I am the fella in the hot seat, and you're watching Everyday Magic. And this is Anoxia with their song Dreams. We'll be right back, guys.
Where Forever May Fall, and you're watching Inner Demon Media.
Now there you go again, you said you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? And it's
Welcome back, everybody. That was Anoxia featuring Steep Steps with their cover of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams.
That's a good one.
Good friends of ours here at Inner Demon Media. That's another thing I say I'm blessed with as well, as meeting all these great and talented artists and musicians. I mean, how lucky have I been the last year and a half, to be fair? And those tribute videos has reminded me of that. So thank you for giving me those reminders.
You're welcome.
All those friendships and bonds that I've created. You being so busy doing this stuff, you tend to forget, and then seeing these videos, like, oh man, this is cool. Like Pearl from Phantom High was one funny story about Pearl from Phantom High today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I when I first started doing these live shows years ago on Heathen TV, I was trying to do a show called Age of Delinquents. It was the name of the show, and I tried to get that band on one of my shows for an interview. Timing was bad, this and that, could never make it happen. Year and a half goes by, and boom, I got in touch with Pearl again. I was like, hey Pearl, would you be interested in doing something like a show? And then we chatted for a bit and became friends. So it was like it was my very first attempt to ever try to get a band on a live show was Phantom High, and to have them on later on after I established myself and established the brand, that was a pretty high moment for me, I guess.
They're a really great band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy receiving the videos and getting the first sneak peek and watching everyone have so much fun putting them together and them trusting me with it. Yeah.
Lisa, the artist you just heard was Anoxia. You can find her on Facebook here. As a matter of fact, today she sent me a message, Anoxia did. Yes, it was an amazing song. Naked Dan, yes, amazing song. Today, she went to do a video shoot. Saturday. She went to do a video shoot Saturday for our new release is getting ready to come out. And there hasn't been one. The last interview I had with her, I think, was like way back in it's been 2 or 3 months at least. Been waiting. Something was supposed to come out in May and nothing ever did. Then finally here in June. So I got a little sneak peek of the video today. I was pretty tickled with that. So it's relationships, building friendships like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the question. The only question I feel that's going to last a little while, and we're only 4 questions in.
Yeah, they ain't gonna take 30 minutes.
5. Okay, you never know. So, what were you experimenting with when you first started dabbling with Magick?
Well, okay, so I guess this would date back to when I was about 9 or 10. To be fair, I mean, at this age, I was just starting to go to church. So I say dabbling in magic because in essence, that's what a church really dabbles in, is magic itself. I mean, so I would say if I started dabbling into magic, I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I was going to church. But it's if we know the history of Christianity and paganism, we know that a lot of what Christianity is took it from is from paganism. You don't understand that at an early age, like I didn't. I was just going to church. I was a lonely kid, and I was like, all right, I wanted some sort of a social interaction, so I started going to church, and it was like just maybe like a block, 2 blocks up the road, and it was a Pentecostal church. And so during the 80s and early 80s and late part of 80s, it was kind of unheard of, really, for a pastor of a church to be a female. Most pastors in the 80s were male pastors, and so I was fortunate enough to have a female pastor, and she kind of took me under her wing for years. I was going to be a youth minister. I was really active in the church. I was part of the church band. So I guess when you think about Christianity, and especially the Pentecostal, there was a lot of work. There's a lot of tools, and with when it comes to churches, they have a lot of tools. Mm-hmm. There's anointing oils. There's when I can remember when they laid hands on people and prayed on people, they'd lay a cloth over them if they passed out. So there was a lot of working with your hands, a lot of energy exchange. There was a lot of things going on. but yeah, I started dealing with magic at an early age, I think, and I think that influenced me a lot. But when it come to when I started practicing and later on in my life as well too, because I've been off and on practicing witchcraft for about 25, 30 years.
Mhm.
But it's not been a consistent thing until the latter part of my life here. The last 5 or 6 years has been a consistent part of who I am today. But back then, it wasn't witchcraft was taboo. You know, you talked about that, you're going to hell, just because it was the mentality of the way churches are. They program you to believe in certain things. If you believe anything outside of that, you know, you're going to go to hell. And the older you get, you start realizing this is not really it's not really what they're saying it really is. You start investigating things, and I'm a type of guy I like to learn things. So they was telling me about God in the Bible and how good it is. I was interested in what this Satan fellow you guys keep talking about.
Because he sounds cool.
What's this guy about?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so as you start studying and researching, you start looking into that side, and you start dabbling into black magic and Satanism, and so I dabbled in all that stuff when I was at a teenage, and my early teenage years, late till I was about 18 or 19. Then I took a break from all of it, and then I just I picked it up again when I first met my first wife, and she was practicing Wiccan. She was part of a coven. And when she told me that, it sparked this interest in, like, man, that would be kind of fucking cool to be part of a coven. I've already done my research on it and all that stuff. I already knew about it, but not something I really pursued because, once again, in the late 80s, early 90s, at this time, you talked about witchcraft. That was taboo.
Yeah.
You don't talk about it. You can hardly find books at a bookstore when it comes to witchcraft. Nowadays, it's everywhere.
Everywhere. Yep.
But finding a coven, you wasn't going to. It was hard to find an actual, working active coven. Everything was so secretive. So she introduced me to Wicca. So I explored that a bit, and that's when I really dabbled into witchcraft. I started off slowly into Wicca because part of it's reprogramming yourself as well. You deal with Christianity and the Bible stuff, and you deal with the devils. But one thing I did learn, one thing I think was valuable in the lessons of going to church and all that, and was the fact that I realized that none of it, for me, my opinion, none of it was real. And I'll chap a lot of people's asses, but for me, it was like none of this. I've experienced exorcisms at a young age, and I think it's BS. I think it's I hate being that way. I hate being saying it like that. Some people truly believe that it's real and demons can possess you and this and that. And it's all just somebody putting part of the programming, right? If someone tells you here was the thing what I experienced in church is that there was a lot of weak-minded people that attended, to where one person, if they had a little bit of authority, they was chest out loud and very opinionated. They're the ones that had their followers, right?
Yeah.
And so anything that person would say to these people, they're going to believe it. And that's what I think that's what I experienced the most. I think there was just a lot of weak-minded people that believed, and they were told enough that they started believing what they was told, and they was possessed by the devil. No, you just didn't take your fucking medication that day.
Yeah.
And one of your multiple personalities is popping out.
Mm-hmm. So you don't really believe in gods and goddesses, do you?
I think they serve a purpose. I think that they all serve a purpose, but do I believe do I believe in them? I mean, yeah, I guess I do believe in them, but there's a difference between believing in them and worshiping them.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I could say were they people at some point in time? Yeah. But just like with legend, it's a story starts and it turns into legend. So people have to keep in mind that these stories about these deities have been written by man through time, reworked, re-illustrated, retold till it becomes what it is today, right? So a lot of what you hear and read, not necessarily, that's not who they are. They're giving you examples of situations, or if you're going through something, you can call upon them to help you out through certain situations. Like you need a little bit of strength at something, you're going to call Lilith or something like that. You know what I mean?
You're basically tuning into
They're
yourself. There's an aspect of yourself that you're trying to
you're
come
using
in
them
tune
to
with.
call that out of yourself.
Yes. Thank you.
They're designed to do one certain thing, and you're needing that some courage, or you're needing some strength, or you're just trying to get through something. You can call upon that deity to call out that certain thing that you need in your life. Now, do I call upon them? No, I don't. Not anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. You start to realize the more you're into this that you don't really need. Gosh, I don't want to sound horrible at this, but you're gonna understand that I think everything has its place, but also you have to understand about yourself as a human being that you have your place as well. And anything that you do, it's all within yourself to be able to do it. You just have to call upon that yourself to be able to pull it off.
Well, one thing I had said about you in one of my tributes to you was your unwavering strength and courage. And I want to know where do you get that from?
To be fair, repetition. You're going to go repetition. Enough bad things happen to one person, you learn how to deal with bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been conditioned, or repetition itself of all the things that's gone on in my life. I mean, at an early age, I was input in certain situations. Like, for instance, I was molested by my aunt for years. And so I let, so I've been in situations at an early age that's kind of molded me into what I am today, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever come to a point where you're like, I've had enough? I'm out of strength and courage?
Everybody has that.
Yeah.
I think everybody goes through that. I don't care who you are. Enough stuff goes on in your life that you're at a breaking point. You're like, I'm done. I just don't want to do this anymore. I go through it even today, all the time, just because you're just tired, or you're just not wanting to do it. You're just being lazy, or what's your drive? For me, I think that's what's kept me going, is my drive to want to help other people. And I think that's me paying my penance for the things that I've done in the past. I think that's why I'm so adamant about helping people, because we all have our past. Hi, Mia's mom.
Hi.
And Mia Bug.
Hi.
So a lot of it was, we're all conditioned for things. We throughout life, I guess, just being molded in all the bad situations I put myself in jail, drug abuse, molestation, bad marriage, all the things. You're losing your father, losing your son, and most people, you would think that losing their child, that kind of like will break somebody, right?
Yeah.
Or stop them or slow them down, but it didn't for me. And I really can't say why or how, to be fair. I can't really explain how I got through it. It just felt like you have to find some sort of peace within the situation. It may be tough and it may be hard, and you're facing the loss of your firstborn son due to drug addiction, something, to be fair, that I was such an advocate about prior to losing. And it's kind of ironic, to be fair, because a lot of my mission has been to deal with mental health, drug addiction, and abuse. That's been a lot of my focus and what I do, my motivation. So to lose your own son to the same scenarios that you tried to work so much hard to bring awareness to was kind of gut-wrenching, to be fair, because you feel as a parent and as a person doing what you're doing that you're a failure, that you failed. You failed in the ultimate way, right? You failed in the most epic, fashion that you possibly could fail at. You lost your son to the very same thing that you fight against on so much.
Yeah.
So it does leave question marks in your head of, do I want to stop this? Do I just need to pull away from this? It's just, what am I doing here? What am I doing?
Yeah.
So fighting through those emotions, it's kind of tricky, to be fair, and you have to be kind and gentle to yourself. You have to make peace with certain things. Yes, I may have not have been the perfect dad, and I may have not have been the role model dad when I was younger, but I have to feel that I made some sort of difference as I got older, and he got to see me as a sober dad, and he got to be able to see me as me starting over, dad. I had nothing from literally a grocery bag full of clothes, seeing me build myself back up to somebody that he didn't even really recognize, because he was so used to me being this guy that was wild and in and out of jail and out playing music and doing this stuff. So I hope that I had some sort of I have to find peace, that I made some sort of impact, knowing that yes, he was struggling, but there was, with his addictions, that there was still some sort of hope for him. It was just him believing in himself enough to have that hope, and that's where I felt like I felt him at. It's not. It was just, it's hard. It's a hard road to take when you're trying to do things for him. You think sometimes tough love's the answer. Sometimes you think being overly kind and generous and giving in to the yeses all the time's the answer.
Yeah.
But there really isn't. You can only go with in the moment, at the time, and the situation that you're presented. And what will forever stick with me is the last time that I saw my son. He was walking up the street to come over, and I walked up to him and said, "How you doing?" And I knew immediately that he was messed up on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Look, man, you can't come in. You can't come in my house. I got 2 little boys, and it's obvious that you're on something." He looked at me and goes, "I'm not on nothing, Dad." I was like, "Cody, I know that you're on something, buddy, and I'm not. I love you, but I can't let you in. Not like this. You know the rules." And he turned around, pissed off, and walked away. And that was the last time I seen him.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, you got to answer your question. How do you keep moving on? How do you get through it? You have to believe in enough in your dream and your vision to say, you know what, these hardships, these great losses are a lesson in life, not just for you, but maybe to better your reach of how you go about doing it. It cuts a little bit deeper. Before it was just about me getting through my addictions. Now it's my story also now involves my oldest son.
That was heavy.
That was deep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Answer your obsessed with tea. Sid, what's up with the background? Are those eyes? They are eyes, and these are my sheep. They're my sheep.
You should go like this so we can see the other one. You can't really see it. Nope. There it is.
They're my sheep. Sorry, I didn't mean to go so deep on it, but yeah, sorry.
No,
I
it was
hope that
perfect.
answered your question.
It absolutely did. Thank you. So, do we want to go deeper, or do we want to keep it?
I've always been an open book.
Well, I do want to ask you, what are some of your favorite rituals to do?
Rituals, to be fair, I don't do them much anymore. I consider, everything we do is a ritual, though. Let's be fair. Life is a ritual. Waking up, getting out of bed, going to the bathroom, taking a piss, or if it's number two. And then once you're done with that, you go in there, you make your coffee, you take a sip of your coffee, you sit down, have a cigarette, you get up, brush your hair, put it in a ponytail, style it, put your favorite shirt on, put your favorite jeans on. Everything in life's a ritual, right?
Yes.
So I kind of look at life that way now, is that everything I do has a magical intent behind it. I want to change lives as much as I can every day, and I want either motivate, inspire, or make someone laugh.
Mhm.
But I don't want them sad. We have enough sad people in this world. We've all experienced enough sadness. It's time. It's time for us now, right? To be happy, to feel motivated, to feel inspired.
Um, how would you recommend somebody who has never experienced magic before that they know of? How do they bring that into their lives?
I mean, there's simple things you can do that people would never ever know. I mean, everything. To be fair, I mean, right? I mean, that's a hard question to really kind of, because with me it's different because everything that I have on me is some sort of magical. I really don't hide it anymore. I got to the point that but I know there's people out there that can't come out of the closet. But
Yeah.
you could take anything and charge it with magical intent. If you want to do a candle ritual, everybody can buy tea lights. Nobody's going to ever know the difference. You can magically charge a tea light by just holding it in your hand and charging it, and then using it for a ritual later. Everybody collects stones. I mean
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in witchcraft. I mean, it could be for you, but for somebody else, just an average Joe. But then again, that's going to be kind of hard nowadays. The good thing about nowadays time today is that witchcraft and paganism is becoming more of an accepted thing, which
Yeah.
is cool. So people are more recognized when they see certain tools of the trade. Stones is associated with spirituality, witchcraft, whatever. So it's kind of hard to say, hey, you're in witchcraft, because hell, everybody's got them now. Everybody loves stones.
Do you think it's important to keep that childlike, perception of things to be able to experience the magic around you, to actually see it? And
You have to believe that everything around you is magic. First, you have to believe that you're the magic, and you're creating you're creating this magical day. As soon as you wake up, you have to believe that it's not your cards that were dealt, and that's your shit day because that's the cards you were dealt. No, you're having a shit day because you're allowing it to be a shit day. You have to come in every day with a positive attitude. Is that easy? Fuck no. I have my days too. But that's why that's good for the next day, right? Tomorrow's a different day, a whole new beginning. Hey, I can be positive every morning, but doesn't mean by afternoon I'm going to be positive. I might be slinging pallets around a warehouse or something.
or dancing naked around a fire.
Like Dan, dancing naked around fire and stuff.
Yeah.
Giving us the whole Indian. Woo, as titties are flopping and dingus is flying.
Now, would you ever do that?
No. I mean, I'll dance around the fire, but I'm not doing it naked.
Why?
I don't want to catch any of my body hairs on fire.
Okay.
I mean, if I was by myself or with my wife, maybe, I don't know. No, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I'd dance around the fire, but would I
That's out of
dance
your
around
comfort
naked?
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had enough bad experiences doing things naked that the lesson was learned.
Well, we'll just leave all that to Dan then.
Let's get some of these comments here. I like what they're saying here. Magic, when you ask the question about things that they can do, Sean had one here that says, magic is in words. That's all you need is your words. You're exactly right. Magic, Mary Beth says, comes to you. 100% agree. Paula says, yes, it is. Naked Dan, I'm afraid. What did you had to doubt? What did what you had to don't doubt yourself?
Oh, he's probably talking about
What do you do to stop doubting yourself? Start believing in yourself. It's tricky, right? Because once again, you've programmed yourself right now. As you type that, you're doubting yourself. You are actually being your worst enemy, and you, Dan, are actually programming yourself by saying, I doubt myself. You know what? We all doubt ourselves. It's a natural, normal emotion that we go through, right? Oh, am I good enough at this? Or do I have a good enough radio voice? Or is this show good? But you know what? It's healthy. I feel doubting yourself is healthy because it gives you something to overcome. Yeah. Not everything can be easy. Everything, what's the saying? If it comes easy, it's not worth having.
Yeah.
So we got to work. We got to work hard at it, right? We got to continuously work at it. And I think doubt, uh, being conscious about ourselves, conscious about ourselves, I think that's healthy because it gives us something to work on. To work on.
Yeah,
We're
like
not-
Sean said, the magic is in your words, right? So when you're telling yourself these negative things and doubting yourself, you're actually putting a spell on yourself. And yeah, it's just tell yourself better things,
And that's
right?
you have to program yourself. And here's my wife says, especially in our words, yes, in our thoughts before our words, because
Yes.
that stuff can linger in your head and your mind. I agree 100%. That stuff lingers in your head for days, sometimes weeks, right? Before it actually manifests itself out into words, and you finally start to speak that stuff. And that's just as bad, or if not worse, because you're the only one that knows what's going on in your head. We only know what you speak out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Sean says, did you have a shit day or dwell on a shitty day 10 minutes of your day? Did you have a shit day or did you dwell on a shitty 10 minutes of your day? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's all right to have a bad day, but to let it rule your day is something that I've never been much on. I have a bad 15 minutes. All right, fuck it. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got
Rise above it.
Paula. Amen. Have to believe in yourself. Dan says I have a special rod I polish. Jeez. Mary Beth says confidence comes with it. You learn to trust your instincts. 100% agree on that, Mary Beth. But yeah.
Yeah.
More questions?
All right. Excuse me. I have a tickle in my throat. Oh my gosh, I think we've hit them all. Did
we answer them all?
Hold on. You kind of answered some without me even having to ask. So you believe that we are our own tools. I've heard you say this a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
And that we're our own tuning device.
That's it.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's really cool.
A lot of people like, we have to understand that a lot of people feel that sometimes their life is destined to be this way, or this or that, or they're cursed. But we have to remember that we are the center of the universe, and then from there, everything else creates its own picture, right? We're the center. Whatever we perceive, whatever our perspective is, that's our center of the universe, and we could absolutely 100% create a better place for you as a person by perspective and training your thoughts, training your mind. The more you train your mind and believing in yourself, you'll start seeing results in what you're believing in yourself in. I never have thought in a million years that I would pick up a microphone and do podcasting, but I believed in myself that I can do this, and I didn't stop not believing in myself. I mean, I had my doubts, but I knew that I can overcome those doubts and those fears and keep continuing on. We have to learn how to be gentle with ourselves, like I said earlier, enough to allow ourselves mistakes. A lot of people, when they start new adventures in life, they try it and then something bad happens. We make a mistake, and I'm like, oh, I'm a failure. I'm not going to do this, and toss it to the side.
Mm-hmm.
You're not being fair to yourself because, why? You're being rough on yourself, for one.
Yeah.
And you're not allowing yourself enough kindness to yourself to say, all right, let me try this again. Believing in yourself is very a vital tool in magic, and realizing that you're the center of the universe and everything else around you has to fine tune themselves to you.
It's funny because we as children, especially your generation and my generation, have been told that we are not the center of the universe, that we're not to be selfish. And it's amazing how now that I'm older, I'm like, that is a lie. It's not that, oh, I'm the center of the universe and everything revolves around me. It's I have this power inside of me and I can create whatever I feel I need to create.
Paula says we fine tune our lives. You can contact your mind and power. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I always doubt myself. I doubt I should be alive. Well, Dan, you should always. That's where it comes in, which I've said
Mhm.
this 100 times too. Is start being kind to yourself. There's no reason to be hard on you. I mean, even if you're a Christian, right? Let's be honest. If you're a Christian, you were born in sin. That's expected to make mistakes and make do things that you probably shouldn't have done. It's okay. It's all right. You got to learn how to let that go because it really doesn't do you no good. You can stay in the 1980s and 1970s and the 60s, or you can be in the present. And I'd much rather be in the present than in the past because the past is
It
not
doesn't
going nowhere, right?
it doesn't serve you anymore.
It's not going anywhere. It's right
No.
there in the past. It's going to stay there. It's never going to go forward. It's never going to go backwards. It's going to be right there at that time that you're dwelling on. Be in the present and learn how to be happy with what you have now.
Right now.
You're not going to be ever happy with the things of the past, but you got to be happy but you can be happy with the things of the now, and you can be happy for the things of the future. But you have to tell yourself once again that you're worthy of these good things coming in your life. I used to think I wasn't worthy of none of the shit that happened to me. I'll be honest. I thought my life was going to be shit the rest of my life until I started programming myself to say, you know what, your life is not meaningless. Your life has some sort of purpose, Sid, but it's up to you to find that purpose. What is your purpose going to be? And that's our responsibility to find out as a spiritual traveler is what our purpose is. We may think it is this today, and then a year from now, your purpose and calling may have changed a wee bit. But that's part of our growth and journey, right? Learn to be flexible with it, not to be so easy on you.
You have to embrace the future, what's coming.
You're allowed to be happy, no matter how bad that you was in life. You're allowed to be happy. That is your right. You can be sad, and I encourage that too. I encourage people to embrace both emotions because it's healthy, right? It's healthy. It's part of being human. You can take this heartache and this pain, and you can use it for something. And it doesn't always have to be necessarily negative when you're doing it. I embrace it all the time, and I know it's odd to say, but I embrace those moments of loss and heartache because it fuels me to it almost inspires me into, in a sense, and that sounds weird, but it inspires me to help try to motivate other people and inspire other people.
I like
Anyways,
that. Do we have time for one more question?
sure, one more. Give me one more.
All right.
And the
Sid,
final question.
do you believe in ghosts?
It's tricky. Oh, that's probably the hardest one. Part of me wants to say yes, and there's part of me that wants to say no. There's a part of me that I believe that's the spiritual part of me, and then there's the realist part of me, this guy of the science that wants to disprove everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to supernatural, like ghosts, there's really not a whole lot of like, can you say solid evidence?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, there is a lot of people out there who's gotten footage of apparitions and shadow people and cabinets opening up, but but for me, is it enough to say for 100% sure that there is ghosts? I've had experiences though. But then there's my experiences also. There's a science reasoning to it as well. I thought I've been attacked by shadow figures before, and they've held me down onto the bed. But there's also people also say that's called sleep paralysis. So
Mhm.
can I prove that I was attacked by shadow people? No. Have I had weird experiences? Yeah. Could it be my mind playing tricks on me? Yeah. If you put a person inside of a dark room and turn the light off after a certain amount of time, their mind is going to start playing tricks on them. They're going to start hearing stuff, feeling stuff because they're thinking. They're going into there looking for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that there is. I just don't know what capacity. I guess that's for me. I guess I think there might be something out there, but at what capacity, I don't know. I believe that spirits can talk to you. I think they could, but I just don't know. It's one of those fucking things. It's like the politics, right? You can
Mhm.
go on it forever, and you just don't really know. I love it though. I love the paranormal. It intrigues me. I love everything about the paranormal, especially ghosts. And we already know established aliens. We know that they exist. So, but I just love that side because it's the unknown and there's nothing for sure, and it leaves that bit of imagination in your head. And I think it's which is another one of those things that's very healthy to have. As adults, we tend to lose our imagination, and that's where
Mhm.
we get most of our magical strength from. Right, is using our imagination.
So before we go, is there anything that you would like to share?
I don't know.
Like
Have you guys?
anything heavy on your heart?
No,
No.
no. Yeah, okay. So we guys, if anybody here watching it now, watching it later, my birthday's here in a few weeks, and I started a fundraiser on Facebook. It's a $200 goal. It's for the 988. It's the old National Suicide Hotline. It's the donations go towards this organization where it pays for these people to stay on the phones 24/7 for anybody that's going through a crisis. that's that that's they're there for that. So if anybody is willing to donate for something, even if it's a couple of bucks, that'll be appreciated. That's something that's very, very important. Having somebody there on the other end when you're going through something is very, very important. So if you guys can donate to that, that would be great. uh what else? I think that's about it. My birthday's coming up. Donate for that. Yeah, I'm stumped. Stumped.
For the very first time.
Yeah, thank you all for your support as well. We talked about some of my vision and some of the things that I've done, but to be fair, I would not be able to do none of this if it wasn't for the people who's been following me and liking my posts and interacting with me. You guys, what's making this all happen? These dreams of when someone says, I'm going to dream, I'm going to do this." You guys are actually making this guy's dream actually come true. All the bands, all you guys. If it wasn't for you guys watching the live shows or showing up to the radio shows, there wouldn't be a radio show and there wouldn't be a live show. So your guys' interaction and being part of what I'm doing has been amazing. If anything at all, a big thank you for allowing me to share what I do with you guys, and I'm blessed that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. Thank you.
Thank you for doing it.
Great job tonight, Luna. Great questions. And that being said, you guys for me are like an extended family to me now. I share my intimate parts of my life with you guys here on social media. Through the good times, through the bad times, I'm sharing it, be transparent, and to show you guys that you see one side. I want to be everybody to be able to see the whole side of me. I'll be transparent as I possibly can. So that being said, this last song is for you guys, the viewers that's watched and supported me. Thank you so very much. And great job once again. Thanks, Luna. Great job tonight. Good questions.
Thank you.
You had me talking forever. Can I get an amen? Amen. Anyway,
Amen.
I'll catch you guys.
Hallelujah.
I'll catch you guys Wednesday for another Delinquents Ball here there on InnerDemonMedia.com. And until then, though, you guys have a good first start of your week. Kick Monday's ass. And I'm leaving us tonight with a band called Flatland Kings with their song Family Table. You guys have a great night, and see you all Wednesday.
Bye.
But we escape beyond the toll, where all is forgiven. It's a place we call home, bound together forever. Pull up a chair, listen close, memories to remember, the way happiness rolls. And we live, we laugh, we smile, so come on in and stay a while at the family table. Together we are at the family table. Nothing will tear us apart here at this table. With love in our hearts, we're looking out for each other when we struggle to recover. We're grateful. Oh, at the family table. Times past and present, we reminisce through them all. Pictures of adolescence hanging there on the wall. And we raise a glass to the ones who's past and the ones we won't forget. Time don't turn back, so every time we have, make sure it's